What is going on, everybody? My name is Japes, and welcome to what may or may not be a continuing series. FPS Friday. I got some great support on the last video, so I'll start off first by saying this as well. This is going to be Call of Duty, and if you do not want to see it, there is absolutely no need for you to continue watching this video. No need to click dislike. Just go ahead and close the window and be done with it. But if you guys do enjoy this, or you like hearing me ramble on about nonsense, or, well, we've got a topic in mind for today, but if you like hearing me ramble on, then go ahead and stay tuned and see if you like it. But in the last Call of Duty video that I did last Friday, I said the question was, Japes, why Call of Duty? And I said a lot of it was because I felt like it was a team game, and this is similar to clubs, I suppose, on FIFA. And I got a lot of comments saying, Japes, you are crazy. This is not a team game. If you want a team game, go play Battlefield 3. Now, I don't have any direct experience with Battlefield 3, so that is a bit impossible for me to compare the two games. On the flip side of that, I do know why I think of Call of Duty as a team game. And first, I'm going to say I also don't think of it as a team game in some senses, in some aspects as well. On the screen, what you're going to see through this whole gameplay, I guess, or gameplays, there are three of them. But I am playing by myself with a group of random guys in an absolutely random lobby, knowing absolutely no one. So you can look up at the top left through here, and it's all the yellow triangles rather than the blue triangles, letting me know that I've got teammates in my party. So this is all very, very random. And I'm able to literally single-handedly, as the scores will show by the end of this, able to carry my team. And you can do that in Call of Duty, which makes it not a team game. And even in the competitive scene, you can also carry your team to victory by yourself. Now, I think this becomes more and more difficult. Obviously, there are exceptional players, and that's why the term, Call of Duty has the term backpacking. And it's not as big of a deal on Call of Duty to have one really, really weak player, and except I think when you get to that absolute top level. Now, in clubs, on the other sense for FIFA, if you have two or three really weak players, you're not going to win, period. And that's just the way that clubs, unless you have enough players to cancel that out. But if you have a team of 4 or 5 or 6 and you have 2 or 3 weak players, you're going to have a very, very difficult time winning that match because they're going to get in the way. They're not going to make the right decisions with the ball. And similar to Call of Duty in some senses, if you are in a competitive scene, and I'll give you here, let me give you a little background on why I sort of talk about a competitive scene in Call of Duty. And obviously I am no expert, and I will be the first one to tell you that. The only competitive COD that I have played is on a website called Gamebattles, and some of you may or may not be familiar with Gamebattles. I'm sure a lot of you are. It's essentially a website where you can go and play in a ladder-style ranking system with a team, and play competitively, and it records your stats and things of that nature. You report your games, yada yada yada. It's where the competitive gaming is going on at. And so the first team that I played on in Gamebattles consisted of some of my buddies in real life, and they were a little bit worse than I was, but still really not bad players. And there are a lot of bad players on Gamebattles, mind you. It's you don't have to be good to sign up for the website, and so you tend to get a lot of what's the Call of Duty term, randoms or scrubs, I think would be the proper way to say it. But you tend to get a lot of that on there. And the first team that I was with we were not good, and it's because we did not work well as a team. We didn't really play as a team, and it showed. It was a lone wolf there. Everybody wanted to have the camera on them. Everybody wanted to do well. We didn't have a set plan of how we were going to go about trying to take map control. It was go out there, do your best, and see what happens. And I thought that was the way Call of Duty was meant to be played for the longest time. All I wanted to do was put up the highest score out of anybody on the team, and so that's what my end goal was. Now, eventually, I met some guys online that said, hey, do you want to join our Gamebattles team? And I was like, I haven't had really great experience with Gamebattles much, and so I don't know if that's something I really am interested in. And they were like, oh, come on, give it a chance, and let me know, just give it a try and see if you like it again. And I said, all right. And these guys actually wanted to do what are called scrims or practices, and so I was cool with that. I had tons of free time. This is after I transferred schools and now had the ability to spend time that I would have spent practicing football in real life. I had the opportunity to spend it on gaming, and so I split my time between playing FIFA and playing Call of Duty. And when I was playing Call of Duty, I'd played enough at this point that I didn't want to deal with shit that goes boom, or which is essentially what I call your RPGs, your noob tubes, your claymores, all that stuff. I just wanted to play where it was essentially gunfight versus gunfight, team versus team, nade versus nade, and that's what I got into with this game battles. And this team taught me a lot of different things, and the importance of callouts and all that good stuff, which is the same as football in real life if you think about it. Now, I'm a center back by nature, as you guys know, or by position, and so it was always my job to call out, you got a guy behind you or a man on, things of that nature to let people know that they are going to have people on them that they need to be wary of. And that rolled straight into Call of Duty, and I think that's why I liked it so much. Now, this is one of those things where you would win games and you would lose games, and I was on winning teams, and sometimes it was not having a good day. But similar to real sports, if a player isn't having a good day, the team is going to suffer. If your shot's off, your team's gonna suffer, and I think that's why I tended to start to think of gaming in some senses as an actual sport, and I never, ever considered myself a gamer. It was one of those things for me. As I've said many times, if it was not for Xbox Live, I don't think that I would play video games. Now, nowadays, I will most definitely call myself a gamer. There's no question about that. It's just because now I've played enough games that I think it's official. I can actually call myself that, and that's kind of cool. It's a different community. It's one that I never thought I'd be part of, going from a very, very competitive athletic scene to a very, I guess, somewhat competitive or entertainment oriented with YouTube gaming scene. But it's good. It fills that competitive void. But that's why Call of Duty for me was a good substitute for some, essentially some of the real world sports. Now, mind you, it's not going to obviously take physical, well, there are physical skills. There are people that have faster reflexes. There are people that are better at with hand-eye coordination, which is what this boils down to. But I think that good athletes in real life a lot of times can be pretty good gamers based on the ability to control their body the way they want to. But I know this has been a bit of a long ramble, but I hope that sheds a little bit of light on why I think that that Call of Duty is essentially a team game. Because if you don't, in my experience at least, if you do not have a team of guys that are willing to make callouts, willing to work for each other, and help each other out, you are just not going to do as well at all. And Painkiller saving lives since 2009. How annoying is that? But I also can be a bit of a lone wolf on Call of Duty. There's no question about that. I will most definitely, essentially what I'm doing right now, where I'm just trying to post up and defend a side of the map. Like I've said, I guess in the previous video, it's all about map control for me, and that's really what COD boils down to, without a doubt, no questions about it. And that's what my end goal is here. Obviously, it's very, very easy once you get in the chopper gunner to get those nukes. I was playing in Trout's Road to Commander finale the other day and managed to drop 3 of them in there. Not as quickly as this, so 3 in a row is pretty ballsy. But on the flip side of lone wolfing and going for nukes, and especially, we'll talk about Modern Warfare 3 for a minute, and going for Moabs, I think it is extremely difficult to get Moabs if you do not have a team full of people that are going to help you, or essentially run support kill streaks, or at least control the map well for you so that you know where the other team is coming from. Going into a random lobby and getting Moabs on Modern Warfare 3 is something that I know that I personally have struggled with. I can drop good scores, but getting the full-on Moab is just it's just plain difficult. Now, when you watch live streams of people doing Modern Warfare 3 and going for Moabs, they almost certainly have teammates, and that's because they need those callouts, and that's what makes Call of Duty a team game, in my most humble opinion. And I hope maybe I've changed some of your minds on why I think Call of Duty is a team game, or not necessarily changed your minds, but at least shed some light on where my opinions come from through a Search and Destroy MLG variant game battles deal, or Search and Destroy and MLG variant were the 2 game types that I played, and to change it up a little bit, the reason I play the way I do, or my style, where I kind of tend to post up in the middle of the map and hunt spawns, is because my job on the team that I played on, or for the MLG variant game mode, was to be the Slayer. And that means that essentially my sole job was to kill people, was the way I understood it and was told, and so that's what I try to do in all of the COD games. I always figure they can't complete the objective if they're dead. And that's, I think that boils down to first-person shooters in general. Is if if you keep the other team dead, they are not going to be able to successfully complete their objective. But we are closing in on the end of this, so I hope you guys did enjoy this this FPS Friday, or a Japes Gone Modern Warfare 2 again. I don't know what it's going to be called, but if you did, a like or thumbs up is always greatly appreciated. I do 100% genuinely appreciate your support on all of my different endeavors. Other than that, my name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.